Okay.
Good morning, Tech for Seniors. Today, the topic: what is Microsoft Sway? But first, how did they know? It's never explicitly been explained how the Brady Bunch had access to Zoom in the 1970s. All right, Microsoft Sway, the best kept secret. This was released by Microsoft in August of 2015, more than 5 years ago, but I only became aware of this app earlier this year. It's a presentation program that is part of the Microsoft Office family of products. It's free, provided you have a Microsoft email address account, and it's not to be used instead of PowerPoint, but it can be used in addition to or in circumstances where this might be a better option. Sway sites are stored on Microsoft servers and are tied to the user's Microsoft account, so they can be viewed and edited from any web browser through Office for the web, but there's no ability to do any offline editing or viewing function. So how do we access MS Sway? Well, go to office.com, sign in with your Microsoft account. Typically that's one that ends with either Outlook or MSN or hotmail.com. Type Sway in the search box and it opens up the app. And rather than me try to demonstrate all the different features of Sway and show you what I did in the limited time we have, I'm going to point to some YouTube videos that do a much better job. There's one on the sway.office site that is titled Office Sway for Education, Engaging Students with Interactive Content. And then my favorite instructor for basically any Microsoft products and just technology in general is a young man named Kevin Stravitt. He used to work for Microsoft. He has his own YouTube channel, and he does a very good Sway tutorial called How to Use Microsoft Sway. So the neat features of Sway versus PowerPoint. Well, there's multiple methods to start your Sway presentation. You can just start from a blank canvas, add a title, and then just start adding everything else you want. Or you can start from a topic of your choosing. You type that into the Sway box, and Sway will automatically import material from Wikipedia and other similar websites, so you don't have to go searching. Another way is to start from a document like Word or PowerPoint, and that information will be brought into your Sway. Or you can start from a template, just similar to the ones you might see in Word, where you can just work from the template to create your document. You can look at featured sways that'll give you some inspiration as to what you might want to do. And once you have your sway done, it's easy to share. You can send a sway link to others and they can then view your sway, or you can upload it to YouTube. I like the ability that you can scroll not only up and down like with PowerPoint, but you can also make this where you can be scrolling horizontally to the right. Now, how using Sway can benefit a consumer. Admittedly, most of the YouTube instructional videos focus on using this app in a business or educational environment. I wanted to come up with a concept where using Sway could benefit the everyday computer user. So I decided on using Sway to tell a story about a special event that uses associated pictures and photographs. Rather than just showing your photographs, imagine telling a story about them that you easily share with others via the internet. So here's my story. It's a visit I took to Sun Studios in Memphis, Tennessee, back in the year 2006, along with a video clip of an actual recording session. All right, let me switch over to that. And so here's my sway. This is my trip to Sun Studios in Memphis. Now, with each of these slides, I've added the audio. So if I shared this with somebody else, they could just play my audio and hear me describe the slide. But for this morning's presentation, I'll just speak about it. So I mentioned here that in 2006, I took this month-long solo trip driving cross country. Went from Arizona to New York, down to Florida, and back home. But I made a stop in Memphis so I could visit the place where many historians believe rock and roll began at Sun Studios. I'm often asked, why would I take such a long drive by myself? Wasn't it lonely? And my response is, the car speakers always had the music playing that I wanted to hear. The temperature in the car was always perfect for me, and stopping for a bite to eat or deciding when to rest for the night was an easy one person decision. So upon arriving, this is what you see from the outside, a rather plain two-story building on the corner, and I'm pretty sure that classic Ford Thunderbird is always parked out front. Once you get inside the lobby and paying your entrance fee, you're then part of a guided tour. Our tour guide shown here was excellent in giving the history of Sun Studios and explaining what transpired within these walls in the 1950s. I recall that we had a private conversation on the term cover records, and I was surprised he was unaware of the original meaning back in the day. The lobby display showcases some of the recording equipment used 6 decades ago. Now notice here, in addition to the 78 RPM record player on the left and the reel-to-reel tape decks on the right, someone thought it appropriate to show off a Brownie Holiday camera made by the Eastman Kodak Company. How do I know this model? Because I still have the one I used so many years ago. Some rock and roll historians credit the song Rocket 88, released way back in 1951, as the first rock and roll record. Now, the label shows Jackie Brenston as the singer and the band called the Delta Cats, but in reality, the band was Ike Turner and his Kings of Rhythm, who made the recording at Sun Studios. Yes, the same Ike Turner who's married to Tina Turner. Sun Records was probably the only record label in the country that had convicted felons serving time in prison as recording artists. Incarcerated at the Tennessee State Penitentiary in Nashville, owner Sam Phillips arranged for the quintet to be transported to Memphis so he could record them. The book, Just Walking in the Rain, by vocal group historian Jay Warner, who I've met in person, describes the story of the prisoners who, he says, were largely innocent of their crimes. In fact, the group's greatest advocate was the then Tennessee governor, Frank Clement, who had them sing at the governor's mansion and numerous state functions. In 1953, they recorded the song Just Walking in the Rain, which sold 250,000 copies, and 2 years later was a major hit for Johnny Ray. Lead singer Johnny Bragg wrote this legendary song, and surprisingly, I learned he also wrote the Hank Williams classic, Your Cheating Heart. So with the decline of his music recording business, owner Sam Phillips sold Sun Records and put all the recording equipment into storage. But in 1987, 10 years after the death of Elvis, Sun Studio at 706 Union Avenue was converted back into a recording studio and became the tourist attraction it is today. The actual recording room is quite small and crowded. When I was there, it was in some disrepair, but perhaps this was on purpose so it would have a more realistic feel. All right, take note. This is a picture of my right foot resting on the exact spot where Elvis stood when he recorded That's All Right. At least that's what I was led to believe. All right, and what I'm going to do now is save this video clip that will show an actual recording session taking place, and I'll play this at the end of our presentation today. But what I will do in the meantime is post in the chat room some of the links to some of what I've shown. Okay. Ron, you're muted.
So there's no charge to use that program, eh?
No, it's free, absolutely free. And as I said, it's its presentation program. But I wanted to, what can I use it for? Well, we all have family pictures. A lot of them maybe of special events, whether it be weddings, anniversaries, family get-together. And what a nice idea to take all those photos and video clips as well, put
Yeah.
them into a sway, narrate the sway,
Right.
and then this is saved forever. And future generations can not only see these videos, but hear you as the individual explaining how they took place and what they represent.
Good morning, everyone. It's Dewey's update for November 2nd, 2020. Today's topic, printfriendly.com. If you were here last week, you'll say, or sounds familiar. I spoke last Monday on the topic of using a website called printfriendly.com to strip away ads and unwanted content from web pages that I'd like to save, edit, and or print, and showed the steps I've been using to create new printer-friendly documents. I was planning to do a quick review of those steps today when I literally was struck by a bolt of lightning. It came from our co-host Ron Brown, who suggested that I should instead install the printfriendly.com printer extension. Our mutual friend Byron Nate also suggested the browser extension to me. I'll quickly demonstrate the way I've done it for years and how much quicker it is to use the print-friendly extension. Here goes. My old way. 1. Select the URL of the web page. 2. Do a Control+X to copy and cut that URL. Step 3. Type in printfriendly.com, hit enter. 4. Paste the URL that was cut in step 2 into the printfriendly.com window and hit enter. Here's my new way. Click the print-friendly extension icon. Thanks a lot, friends Ron and Brian. In the few days since I became aware of the print-friendly extension, it's completely changed how I read, save, and print web pages that are cluttered with ads, sidebars, and so forth. One click takes the clutter away. Golly, life is good. I'll leave the PowerPoint presentation now and show you a host of options you have in printfriendly.com. Now, here's an article that I came across about 3 days ago in a newsletter I receive. I think it seems like it comes every day, at least every other day. It's called Review Geek, and it has a companion newsletter called How to Geek that's very much the same. And I'm not sure if I can tell the difference between them. Each of the newsletters has from maybe a half dozen to a dozen different articles. Most of the articles don't interest me, but when I find one that does, I click on it and it brings it up. And it's always, of course, an unfriendly view like what you're looking at right now, because you see the title of the article is Wisecam version 3 review, a big leap forward, but it's almost drowned out by the graphics above it and to the right. And in fact, even going down the screen here, there are graphics on the side. So it isn't a pretty picture. And this is why we need something like printfriendly.com. Now, instead of having to go through that whole series of steps, now I'm smarter because I've learned about the printfriendly and PDF.com icon, the extension icon. If you can see my black pointer here in the upper right-hand corner, it's on it right now, and I'm going to do that. Click, and look what's happened. Here I am in the print friendly and PDF open page that has the entire article stripped of all the junk. Wonderful, wonderful. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about options. I have to confess that in the nearly 6 years that I've been using Print Friendly, I've never paid attention to these options at the top, but I think it's worthwhile to do so. It may not be my cup of tea, but it might be some others. Now, the first thing I wanted to show you regarding these, it has to do with the undo button. It's an editor where you can cut out certain things. For instance, let's say you don't want this guy's picture, you can cut it out. You don't want the rating. You don't want to see the words buy now. Oh, maybe you don't even want the first picture. One click takes it away. Maybe you don't want this picture. It's gone. This picture, it's gone. You know, it's just unbelievable. So anyway, it's a quick and dirty editor. It takes a little getting used to if you want to try to do some precise things. But one of the nice things is everything you've done, you can undo by just clicking on this and it all comes back, and there is our web page, just exactly as we started. It's been restored. Now, moving to the left, there are two controls right here. This one is for graphics, and this one is for type size or type font. Now, you can have the graphics at full size, and take a look how this looks. I'm going to open it up. Let's say I want to cut it to 50%. By the way, this cuts all the graphics to 50%. And I have choices of 75%, 50%, 25%, or cut it out altogether. I'll leave it at 100% for now. And here is the type size, the font size. It's set at 100%. I can go 3 sizes larger, like to 130%, and all the type is big and bold and easy to read. Or I could cut it down to 70% and have really teensy small type. Again, I'll just reset it to 100%. Now, so we've shown you editing, in which you can delete and restore stuff, plus change text size and graphics size. The next one, moving toward the left, is email. You click on this, and it will email what is on your screen, including if you've edited something, taken something out, whatever. It'll email that to someone, but they won't receive it directly in their email. Their email will show a little paragraph of information with a couple of choices under it. And one is if you click on it, you'll get this print-friendly screen, completely virgin. And the other one is, you click on it, I don't know why you'd want to do this, but you get the original article that has all the ads and junk and sidebars. Well, so you know what the email does. Now we have PDF and print. Clicking on this one will make a PDF of what you have on the screen. Again, if you've edited it, taken out stuff, changed type, font size, graphic size, that's what the PDF will be. And it's the same if you want to print it directly. It will be that way. So those are the options that you have. And I kind of call these quick and dirty options. Now, unfortunately, I have a condition. It's called persnickety perfectionist. I'm sorry, I'm just not a quick and dirty guy. I can't be, and I never will be. So my method is, I'm going to go back up to the top of this document, put my cursor here, do Control plus A for Mac user. That would be Command plus A. And then I'm going to do a Control plus C, which is to copy it. So now I can go directly to a Microsoft Word document. Here it is. And I can do a paste. And it looks like this. I do the paste, and there it is. Now, this is page 10. I don't know why we need an 11th page. I'll just space it off. But it's taking 10 pages to hold the entire clean article without any extra junk, just the stuff that came along. But are you noticing that there's quite a bit of white space? And I'm one of these guys who likes to have things neat and tidy. Of course, that is except my bedroom and my computer room and several other rooms of my house. But otherwise, on my computer, I like to have things neat and tidy. And I'm going to show you next week how I can use the awesome power of Microsoft Word to edit this. And I'm going to show you a few tips that you may not know about to make editing easy. Because as I said, Microsoft Word is an awesome app that has great powers. Well, that's it for today. I will say toodaloo and thanks for watching.
Today I am going to share with you one of my secrets. It is a website that I have used to create flyers, posters, intros to my videos, and various graphics that I needed for projects. It's called postermywall.com. So we're going to talk about Poster My Wall. This is their logo. Now, Poster My Wall at a glance, with over 80,000 templates and 10 million designs created since its inception in 2010, Poster My Wall is one of the leading resources in customizing online and print graphics. As I said, it started in 2010. It's a one-stop online solution for all your graphic design needs, especially if you're like me and don't have a lot of capabilities in designing, but you can play with and edit existing designs and graphics. Poster My Wall is free, but it also has a premium subscription. Obviously, free is free. The premium is $30 per quarter, and the premium plus is $90 per quarter. Breaking that down, there are some advantages to getting the premium and the premium plus, but you generally don't need it. Here is one of the posters that I made, the intro to this presentation. You'll notice because I used the free, it has a watermark at the bottom. You get a small watermark on each poster or flyer unless you're doing the video or you're using one of the premium and you're going to do it for free. Then they have a much larger watermark for your design to discourage you from using the free and to join as a subscriber. Let's look at Poster My Wall. This is the website. I am signed in as me. You see my picture up here. And we can look at my stuff. We're going to look at my stuff in just a few minutes. Right now, let's take a look to see what's available. First, we have templates, and you have different sizes and themes. And you can search over here for whatever you want. You can promote events, small business, churches, restaurants, schools, just all kinds of things. And then you can discover some other items that are out there. I've been creating flyers, posters, and introduction screens for some of my videos using Poster My Wall. This is my big secret. Now, I use only the free version. I want to emphasize that. Everything that I've been doing has been free. I have paid for, I think, 2 videos, and I'll explain what the cost of those are when you do it individually. But for the most part, I've done it all free. So let's take a look at what we might find. So if we do a search, it says here, try sale flyer, just to see what they suggest for something, just to look at it. So we do that. I press enter. There's 11,920 plus customizable design templates for sale flyer. Let's look at what some of these look like. You'll see some of them have videos in them. Some may have the camera in the corner, like here, and that means it's a video, and you can kind of see what it's doing. The videos have a much larger watermark than just the free flyers, and so I have stayed away from the videos because the watermark is quite large in the videos. They really want you to pay for those. You know, they are in business to make money. Let's go ahead and I'll show you how I worked on one of the flyers. One of the first things I want to do is to find a template to use to get the creation or get the item that I want. As I've said many times, I am not a design person. I'm not an artistic person. I want to rely on somebody who is to get me started and give me a basic flyer to work from, or what I call, what they call a template. So let's go ahead and we're going to search for a talk show. And I looked and I scanned it and I found this one. And I'm going to go ahead and open the template. And I'm going to customize it. And now you're looking at this and you're saying, well, what is it that Hewie can work with here? Well, let's kind of see. I'm going to create a poster for learning Chromebooks. And obviously, this isn't either Ron or myself. I'm going to just play with this, and then I will show you the one that we're using. So the first thing I want to do is, this is somebody's picture. You can see I can move it around. And it says here, replace photo. Well, I'm going to replace the photo. I can replace it with my photos, anything from my photos, stock photos, Facebook photos, Google Drive photos, or Dropbox photos. Now, when I say my photos, these will be photos that I have uploaded to Poster My Wall. So I've got quite a few of them up there. If you're just starting, you're not going to have any. You're going to have to start uploading when you want them there. I'm going to click on My Photos, and you'll see that I have a great many here, and it loads more because I've been working with this for quite a while. But what I've done is I've created a couple of PNG files that are transparent backgrounds. I'm going to take this photograph right here. Well, let's do it with Ron's, and we're going to replace the photo, and all I do is that. Go ahead and crop it, and it's put Ron's picture here. And now I can resize that to whatever I want to fit in here. If it was an actual photo now, and then here I want to change this, and let's go ahead and put Ron Brown, and he is not a special guest. I'm just going to delete that. We don't need that. So now we've got a picture of Ron. We've got his name under him, and that looks good. So we're going to take now this picture, and we're going to replace it. And there's a picture of me, 4x3. We'll move it over a little bit. We'll crop it. And then we're going to move it back down. Well, I got to highlight the letters. Okay, and then we got a box for special guest. I'm not a special guest, so we're going to move this down here. And we'll make it a little bit smaller. We don't want to be bigger or smaller than Ron, do we? Okay, so far so good. I don't need this. I'm not going to have this on here. And I'm not going to have this on here. So I'm going to delete those. Now what we're calling this is something different. So you'll see the words are separate from the box. So do I want that box? Yeah, maybe I do. I might have to make it bigger, but let's call this Chromebooks. And you'll see it's very big, so we're going to change the size. See how easy it is? I just go over here to the side. I can change the font. I like to leave the fonts as they are. The reason why is I'm not real good at matching fonts. And because they've already done this and it looks good, I'll use what they're having. I don't need this Ivy. It's going to be Learning Chromebooks, and we don't call it a show. We just call it Learning Chromebooks. So now I'm going to take this, and what we're going to do is here, and it's there. Now I'm going to take this. I'm not going to put ITC there. I'm going to say, oh, join us. And we'll make that smaller. Delete. We're going to make the size smaller. And let's see, let's make that centered so it looks a little bit better. And we'll bring it up. put it in the little red box. But we're going to probably this. We're going to move it up, and we're going to eventually move this up too. But we're just going to say Thursdays, 2 p.m. Now we'll move the orange box up behind it. Go back and edit it more. I can do a lot of things. I can add more things. I can add a photo. I can add media. I can add a text. I can change the layout. I can add clip art. So let's take a look. Photo. I can add from my photos again, or any of the other items here. For medium, I can add my videos, add stock videos. Under text, I can add plain text, fancy text. So if I wanted to add text, if I click this, it creates a box that now I can go and I can change the font. And let's look at all the fonts that are available. So I could choose any of these. And let's take, just for the heck of it, just to click this, and there it is. If I wanted to change it to something else, and you see examples of what the fonts look like, so when you choose it, it's there. So if we take the Digital Dream one, it'll look like that. So you can do what you want. If you don't want it, you highlight the box, hit your delete key on your keyboard, and it goes away. Made some changes since then, so we need to save it again. We'll save it. And now I'm going to decide to download. So if I download it, it takes a few seconds. This is live, so you see how long it is. We're going to go ahead and open that, and I'm going to bring it back over here to the center, and here's what our poster looks like. Now this isn't the one we're using, but it gives you a good idea of what you can do. Now let's go take a look at Poster My Wall, and we're going to look at my stuff. I just want to show you all the posters and flyers that I have done. You can see there are a lot of them for various purposes. What I want to do is come back up. So this is the actual one that I ended up using. Having a picture is worth a lot more. People will look at it more, and having something really nice to show them and have it really stand out, you can use with Poster My Wall. Let's quickly use a template that has animation or video in it just to see what happens and how the free version looks. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a template with something for a birthday. I want to use this one, so I'm going to click, and when I click on it, I can customize it, so we're going to do that. But the first thing is, what we want to do is change the name, because it's not Joe, it's Harvey. So we've got Harvey there. And let's take a look at the music and see if we want to use that. Looks like it's going to be fine. There's some animation in the background. I'm not going to change anything else. I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to go ahead and download it. When I download it, here's the basic. It's going to have a watermark. It's going to be an MP4, but it's free. If I want the HD video of it, I got to pay $15. So let's go ahead and download the free one. It's customizing it for me. We'll speed this up and go right to it. Okay, we're going to close this, and we see down here it's in the corner. We're going to go ahead and open it. Notice the large free video created on Poster My Wall, and this is the reason I don't use the free video anyway, because the watermark is so large that it really interferes with the particular poster. And it interferes with the information that's on the screen. And there you have it, Poster My Wall. I'm Hewie Poplock. I hope you have enjoyed me touching on some of the highlights of Poster My Wall. Certainly there's a lot more to it, and I hope you enjoy working with the program on Poster My